This is ABC7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
When adult and youth athletes come to Manatee County, to these facilities, they generate dollars for our hotels, our retail, our restaurants, and you never know. You hope someone falls in love with our community and wants to relocate their business to Manatee County.
Sports tourism brings tens of millions of dollars to the Suncoast each year, and now Manatee County could take control of a major hub for visitors. The premier sports campus in Lakewood Ranch. Tonight we'll break down the deal being offered and how it could benefit residents. Good evening, everyone. I'm Alan Cohen, and welcome to ABC 7 at 7. We'll have more on the deal for the premier sports campus coming up, but first, our top 7 stories at 7. And we begin with Congressman Vern Buchanan and complaints about his apparent reluctance to meet face-to-face with constituents at town hall meetings. Instead, he's hosting mobile office hours over the next few days where he'll be on the phone. For some residents, it's not good enough. Buchanan's special assistant will be meeting one-on-one with locals on Friday in Holmes Beach and Wednesday at the Myakka City Fire Department. The congressman has hosted just one town hall since President Trump's inauguration. It drew roughly 2,500 people at the Ben Waisel in March, where Buchanan was bombarded on his position to repeal the Affordable Health Care Act. While some who met with his assistant today were satisfied, others are not.
He's a busy man, and they should know as much as the congressman, really, if they're working for him.
Part of his job is to hold town halls, and his staff was not elected. He was elected.
Since taking office in 2006, Buchanan has hosted 74 town hall meetings. Congressman Buchanan is praising a bill combating human trafficking. It would invest $130 million in efforts to prevent human trafficking and provide assistance to victims. It also extends federal grants to educate children about avoiding traffickers. The bill would also provide incentives for hotels and airlines to train employees to identify potential trafficking. Florida is third in the nation in the number of reported cases. The Senate must now vote on the proposal. Now to Northport, where after 6 hours of debate, a man is being forced to stop selling puppies out of his home. Joseph Newman asked Northport City Commissioners for a special exception to keep operating his business, Sunshine State Pups. He sells approximately 300 puppies from his home each year to buyers he meets online. The city argues the business is illegal. A legal battle between the city and Newman has been going on for more than 2 years.
I've been transparent. I have not lied to you. I have told you the truth.
I know that you're saying that this special exception is for a shed. It's so much more than a shed.
Newman says he is not sure what the next step is. He says while an appeal is an option, he is also looking to move his business out of Northport. An $8,000 reward is now being offered for information connected to a recent murder in East Manatee County. Sheriff's deputies say Larry Hutchinson was found dead in his home on Zipper Road last Saturday. When deputies arrived, Hutchinson's wife told them 2 men had broken into the home and confronted her. The Gold Star Club is now offering a $5,000 reward for information leading to an arrest. Crime Stoppers is also offering an additional $3,000. From Sarasota County Administrator to the next town manager of Longboat Key. After 5 years on the job, Tom Harmer is leaving Sarasota County to take over for retiring Longboat Key town manager Dave Bullock. Harmer became administrator when his predecessor was terminated. He is credited with improving the county's responsiveness to residents, along with resolving a slew of issues.
Longboat Key is extremely smart. I'm just sorry it's at our expense.
Broken-hearted that you're leaving. I found you to be one of the best I've ever worked with.
You'll be hard to replace, and I will say publicly that I will absolutely miss you.
Harmer will stay on with the county until the end of the year. Sarasota County's commission is giving a big financial boost to the local arts community. Commissioners approving nearly $2 million from tourism taxes for 3 dozen Suncoast art organizations. Beneficiaries include the Florida Studio Theater, the Circus Arts Conservator, the Ringling Museum, and the Sarasota Ballet. A half penny from each dollar of tourist tax revenue will be set aside for the grants. Work is nearly complete on the diverging diamond at I-75 and University Parkway, but tonight there will be a detour at the interchange. Florida's Department of Transportation is working to install an overhead truss for the intersection. As a result, University will be closed west of the interstate. The northbound and southbound off-ramps for University westbound will also be closed starting at 10 tonight and ending at 6 a.m. tomorrow. For a full list of alternative routes, visit our website at mysuncoast.com. That's my way home, Bob.
Looks like things may be delayed there a little bit, but it's improving, right? Almost to the end as far as the finish goes for that. We are looking at improving weather today in terms of rainfall. There hasn't been a lot. There's been a few showers around, Alan. Most of that activity coming around 2, 3 o'clock and then pushing out into the Gulf. Now there's another little line that has been showing some signs of increasing in strength with a couple of lightning strikes there in western portions of Hardee and DeSoto counties. You can see it quite clearly just to the northeast of Northport. And it's not all that intense. It's moving to the west-northwest at around 20 miles an hour, 15 to 20. There's some of the cities it'll be having an impact on, and just a little bit. Hidden River at 740. And Northport, you could see a little bit tail end of this rain, but not a lot. There's not much else out there. It's fairly quiet. And from the current conditions at the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport, it's 88. Feels like temperature at 94. And the humidity at 57%. We have an east wind at 11. The east wind's been strong enough all day to not allow that sea breeze to get going. And in the tropics, all is quiet right now. Things are not all that active as a result of some dry air that's in place. We were watching a tropical wave approach the islands down there, and also just to the southeast of San Juan, Puerto Rico. And to the north of that, there's a tropical wave, but showing no signs of any development at this point. Evening planner does call for a few spotty showers around. Not too intense, and temperatures into the mid-70s by 11 o'clock. So looking pretty good this evening. Just a few showers expected.
Right, not bad. Thanks a lot, Bob. And still to come, Lakewood Ranch's premier sports campus is a hub for high-profile soccer matches, international team sports, and community events. And now Manatee County could take control of the property, but there is a catch. We'll explain when we return.
Are you a food lover, restaurant goer, or home cook? Then check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, and helpful step-by-step videos. And you'll love the restaurant guide with direct links to your favorite Suncoast eateries. Whether you're cooking in or dining out, whet your appetite with tasty tips from Chef Judy at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. Many people with Medicare may be able to get extra benefits and don't even know they're available. You may be able to get dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage included in your plan. The Medicare Coverage Helpline is accepting calls to see if you're eligible to enroll now. You may be able to get extra benefits including dental, vision, and prescription drug coverage.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Buchwald. Making sure you go to the doctor and taking all your medications as prescribed can help protect your health. To make it easier, you may now be able to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan that includes coverage for dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Help protect your health by choosing the right plan for you and get all the benefits you deserve.
Call to see if you may be able to get extra benefits including dental, vision, and prescription coverage. Don't delay. Call to see if you're eligible to enroll and may be able to get extra benefits now. Call 800-711-7200. That's 800-711-7200.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
When my youngest, Addie, was 2.5, she was diagnosed with leukemia. When we first heard that diagnosis, you feel extremely alone. Walking in that Light the Night light with 6,000 people carrying lights, white for survivors, red for supporters, gold in memory of those who have passed. It's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's hope that every year there are fewer gold lanterns. Your lantern will make a difference.
Start a team, join a team.
Help us light the night.
The official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC7. Download yours today.
We're not just known for our beaches. Increasingly, the Suncoast is becoming a mecca for sports tourism. An example, the premier sports campus in Manatee County, 22 full-size fields hosting sporting events for young and adult athletes from around the country. But now the company owning the campus is offering to sell it to the county. Kate Flexter joins us with what that might mean. Kate.
Well, thanks, Alan. Not only are they offering to sell it, but also for a deeply discounted price. The commissioner we spoke to calls it a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The growth in East Manatee County is unparalleled, leaving commissioners reaching to add enough schools, libraries, and of course parks.
The fastest growing area is North County and East. And now we have to provide the infrastructure for them.
That's why when the developer of Lakewood Ranch, Schroeder Manatee Ranch, offered to sell the premier sports campus to Manatee County, Commissioner Carol Whitmore called it a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Kids from all over the state and all over the country travel down here for events. And as you probably have heard, the Olympics teams have practiced at Premier. So it's one of a kind in the state of Florida.
The 127-acre campus is a sports destination. Estimated at $20 million, SMR would sell it for just $5.2 million. The offer would also add 36 acres north of the site for future expansion, specifically a public aquatic center. Right now, the only county-owned swimming pool is 17 miles away at GT Bray Park.
We have been desperately looking for a spot to be able to do that, and this is going to work out just perfect.
It's all part of a booming industry called sports performance. Nationally, the Sports Facility Advisory reports youth sports and sports performance have become a $7 billion industry. President and CEO of Manatee County's Chamber of Commerce, Jackie Dzelski, calls it a unique niche.
Tourism dollars generate a strong economic impact for our local economy, and the sports performance industry is a part of those tourism dollars.
It's an impact Dzelski says bleeds into our entire local economy, as athletes and their families spend money on things like hotels, retail, and restaurants.
I think even athletes that come to participate in sports east of I-75 end up finding beautiful pockets of our community to visit on the west side of I-75. They want to see our beaches, they want to go shopping, they want to enjoy local restaurants that you'll find in every corner of Manatee County.
It's still not clear if all of the commissioners are on board with the offer or how the campus would be paid for, although Whitmore is proposing a mix of tourism tax dollars and impact fees. She hopes the offer won't be overlooked.
As far as I'm concerned, this commissioner supports it, and I'm hoping that we'll move forward for it. If not, we have to find another place to have a park. And again, this is land that we would never be able to afford, so it's a win-win for everybody.
SMR hopes to see the campus continue as a park and a tourism generator for the area.
Kate, thank you. And coming up, more on the potential sale and what it might mean to sports tourism on the Suncoast when we take it to the trapezoid.
Call to see if you qualify to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan right now. At Humana, we believe great things are ahead of you when you start with healthy. And part of staying healthy means choosing the right Medicare plan. Humana can help. With Original Medicare, you're covered for hospital stays and doctor office visits when you're sick, but keep in mind you'll have to pay a deductible for each. A Medicare supplement plan can cover your deductibles and coinsurance, but you may pay higher premiums than you do with other plans, and prescription drug coverage isn't included. But with an all-in-one Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you could get all that coverage plus Part D prescription drug benefits, all for an affordable monthly plan premium, and in some areas, no plan premium. It's all described in this free book and DVD. Call for yours and discover how an all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan from Humana could save you money. Call 1-800-558-8779.
Every week on Animal Outtakes, it's a new adventure. From meeting curious lemurs to feeding big cats and hosing down rhinos, there's never a dull moment. And sometimes these amazing animals chime in. Tune in to Animal Outtakes to find out what they have to say. Watch Animal Outtakes every week on ABC7.
hard. Just go do it. Go do it. If you're not in control, then who is? Live above the influence.
A promise was made. A promise that hit the beaches of Normandy. A vow that captured Iwo Jima. A contract that weathered Tet. A pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq. An IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Welcome back. It's an increasingly huge chunk of the Suncoast economy, sports tourism. In fact, we're winning honors for it. Sarasota County recently won the Excellence in Sports Tourism Award from the Florida Parks and Recreation Association last year. Around 80 sports events were held around the county, bringing in some $33 million. This year, it should be huge with the World Rowing Championship at Nathan Benderson Park. But how will the proposed sale of the premier sports campus in Lakewood Ranch not only impact local athletes, but also the budding industry of local sports tourism? And joining us for more on the proposed deal is ABC7 reporter Kate Flexter and Max Winnitz, Media and Public Relations Manager for the upcoming World Rowing Championship at Nathan Benderson Park. And you might remember he is also a former reporter here at ABC7. And welcome back, Max.
Thank you. Good to be back. A little bit weird, but
last time you were at the trapezoid, you were sitting on the other side.
That's true. Yeah.
But Kate, this came out of the blue a little bit. I mean, we all knew about the sports park there, and it is a mecca. There was supposed to even be a professional football team that trained out of there, and I'm wondering if county commissioners and the Chamber of Commerce were caught off guard by what seems to be an incredible offer.
I don't think it was something that they expected at all. And I did reach out to Schroeder Manatee Ranch to see where this is coming from. They didn't give me a lot of an answer. I think we'll see and learn more as it develops. But it is an important thing, especially as we see that East County growth.
Right. So what is going on now with this proposal?
Well, right now what's happening is that county staff is going to present commissioners with a report, and then commissioners will decide whether or not they want to move forward with the deal. In talking to Carol Whitmore, as you just saw in the story, she says that they really expect that they will move forward with it. I think it's more of a matter of how they might go about paying for it. It's a mix of those tourism dollars as well as impact fees.
Right, and it's not just paying for it out front. Maintenance is a huge issue involving this because, there are spring training facilities all around this state that major league teams have either moved out to Arizona or moved to other parts of Florida. In many communities, the local counties have taken them over, but operating them is another story. And there's a facility in Lakeland and Old Dodgertown, which kind of get run down because it's expensive to keep these things up. I would imagine the fees that people pay and teams pay for being there are going to be helpful in terms of maintenance.
I think the return on investment is pretty big in these sorts of situations. So I think that for them, they see it as a great opportunity.
Of course, we've been talking all night about us becoming a sports mecca, and I guess the jewel in the crown is the World Rowing Championships. Max, how many people are expected to come into the area?
So the World Rowing Championships, to the layman, let me give a brief description. This event is what the World Cup is to soccer, what the Super Bowl is to football, what the World Series is to rowing. From September 23rd through October 1st of this year, so only about 71 days away from right now, we're expecting 40,000 spectators, over 1,700 elite athletes from probably about 70 countries participating in this event with an economic impact of $25 million. So it is a win-win. It is a win for this community. It is a win for our local businesses, our malls, our restaurants, the lodgings, and we can't wait to welcome the world to Sarasota Bradenton. And to follow up with something Kate said and what Carol Whitmore said in the report, I see that as a huge win for Manatee County if they were to purchase this park. Let's talk about Nathan Benderson Park, which is a Sarasota County-owned facility. Nathan Benderson Park in the last year alone has generated close to, I believe, $30 million in economic impact for this area, with the regattas taking place there, with the triathlons, with some of the other non-sporting events that take place at the park. So why wouldn't you want to own, as a county, a facility like Premier? It's an economic generator.
Especially at a deeply discounted price, as we mentioned. I mean, $5 million versus the $20 million value. I guess they said that the $5 million is only what they've spent to build those facilities there. So really, they're not making any money off of this. I think they see it as an opportunity to help the county with this expansion that they're seeing out east.
Okay, let's take a quick break. We are just getting started, and we will pick up the discussion right after we check on the weather.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone. Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
Everything all right?
Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Watch ABC7 wherever you are. Just search ABC7 on your streaming device to keep up with the Suncoast from the comfort of your couch. Download ABC7 now to watch us on TV anytime you want. ABC7, we're here for you wherever you are.
Our discussion of a deal for the Premier Sports Campus continues in a moment, but right now let's get a check on our forecast from Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Thanks, Alan. Kind of a change today. We had some showers around at 3 o'clock this afternoon. This is Tower Cam looking out into the Sarasota Bay area over the bridge, and the showers were developing right near the coast. They cleared out. We saw some sunshine mixed with clouds throughout most of the rest of the afternoon, and now another line of showers starting to develop and pop up, but it's not all that intense, and it looks as though we're going to see a little bit better chance for some showers and storms as we head into the weekend as a result of this tropical wave exiting stage left here. And then there's that other line starting to pop up, but it's moving so fast it doesn't have much of a chance to really get going. It has produced a few strikes of lightning into Hardee and DeSoto counties. Now it's entering into southeast Manatee County, and as I mentioned, a few bolts of lightning now and again. This will continue to move off toward the west-northwest at around 20 miles an hour. So some, but not many, will get a little bit of a taste of that, I think, down the road near Siesta Key and possibly even into downtown Sarasota. More showers on the East Coast, but again, not a lot of widespread rain, not like our normal pattern this time of year. Typically, we see that West Coast breeze collide with the East Coast and everything kind of explodes into our central counties and then pushes off toward the coast late in the day. Just 0.3 of an inch in Northport so far for the rainfall. Well, there's some real dry air in place, too. This is going to enhance the lack of showers, I should say, for us tomorrow on Friday and even into Saturday. So a rain chance typically this time of year, 50 to 60%. It'll drop down to 40% for those late day storms on both days. And another tropical wave well to the east of that may influence our weather down the road next week and bring us a better chance for some showers. Right now, feels like 94 out there if you factor in the dew point and the temperature, 88 degrees. Currently, we have some clouds around and the winds are out of the east at 11. The high today was warm, 93. We've been a little bit above average because of that easterly wind lately. 90 degrees is our average and the record 96 set in 1932. Well, it's rained in Tallahassee now. They're down to 74 degrees. It's 85 in Jacksonville, 87 in Miami, and 85 in Key West. I mentioned that dry air. You can see it on our water vapor imagery. Covering the Bahamas, a nice day in the northern and central Bahamas today as a result of that dry air in place. Quite a bit of moisture still in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere here, but some of this dry air will entrain into our flow tomorrow, which will, as I said, bring our shower activity down a little bit than we've seen earlier this week. The futurecast is indicating fair skies tonight, and then we will start to see some showers developing around 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Those will push off to the west, and so we'll start to get back into our normal afternoon and evening thunderstorm pattern beginning tomorrow, and then it'll continue through the weekend. There's just not as many storms because of that dry air on Friday and Saturday. Well, for boaters, winds will be out of the east at 10 to 15 knots tomorrow. A little bit of a breeze, seas running 2 to 3 feet, a moderate chop on the bays and inland waters. The water temperature at 88 degrees just a few days ago. This was 91, and the beaches will see a high of 89 degrees. UV index at an 8, and the forecast tides upcoming for Sarasota Bay. The next low tide will be at 11:22 and a high at 5:11 tomorrow morning. Sunset at 8:28. Sunrise will be at 6:45. Partly cloudy skies, slight chance for a few showers, 76 for a low, and we could see an isolated thunderstorm through this evening. Partly cloudy tomorrow. The rain chance drops a little bit to 40% for those late day storms, a high of 91, and southeasterly winds continuing with a little west coast breeze developing in the afternoon. The extended forecast calling still for that 40% chance for rain on Saturday. It bumps back up to more normal Sunday through most of next week. Alan will be back with his guests right after this.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
Since 2014, Addiction Hope and Helpline has answered calls for recovery and treatment 24/7, 365 days a year. If you're depressed, drinking, using drugs, or taking pills, call now and talk to someone who cares.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Most insurance covers substance abuse. You can get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call 800-622-1941. 800-622-1941.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
If you want 24/7 access to ABC7's breaking news stories, weather forecasts, traffic alerts, health reports, Suncoast View, and more ABC7 programming, now there's good news. Introducing the free ABC7 channel on Amazon Fire TV. Your 24/7 access to ABC7. Just search ABC7 on the streaming device and download the free ABC7 channel app. Or if you don't have an Amazon Fire TV, you can get one at Amazon.com.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffy Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
From meeting curious lemurs to feeding big cats and hosing down rhinos, there's never a dull moment. And sometimes these amazing animals chime in.
Watch Animal Outtakes every week on ABC7.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we are discussing a proposed deal to give the Lakewood Ranch premier sports campus to Manatee County. As part of the deal, the county would pay off construction costs and agree to expand facilities on the property. Our guests tonight are ABC7 reporter Kate Flexter and Max Winnitz, who is the media and public relations manager for the 2017 World Rowing Championship at Nathan Benderson Park. Kate, that area of Manatee County is really exploding these days, isn't it?
It is. I actually talked to a developer who works with Schroeder Manatee Ranch, and he called I-75 the new Main Street of Manatee County because we really are seeing so much growth out there. And I think what we're also seeing is this need for infrastructure updates. And I don't necessarily mean in terms of roads and things like that, but you know, additional parks like we're seeing here, schools, libraries. So there's a little bit of a game of catch-up that they're playing, the commissioners, to accommodate the growth that they're seeing there and make sure that those people don't have to make like a 17-mile trek across the county to go to a pool.
But when we're talking about taking over a business like this, which deals with sports teams and different sports coming in week after week after week, that's whole business, which I would imagine the county is not used to doing. And Max, you have at least an incredible window in terms of how it works at Benderson Park. You don't work for the park itself, but what does Sarasota County have to do to manage what's going on there?
So like you said, it's just a massive operation. Sarasota County realized that when Nathan Benderson Park was constructed. So they brought in what is referred to as SANCA. You've talked about it on the news all the time. It stands for Suncoast Aquatic Nature Center Associates. Those are the folks who maintain and manage the park. As you said, I don't work for them, but we obviously, with the World Rowing Championships, work very closely with them. The job that they do, Sarah Kupiak, Bob Sullivan, Jessica Shorin, Melissa Mitchell, Bob Whitford, managing these events that are taking place there on just about every single weekend. It is a tough job. We were involved with the U.S. Rowing Youth National Championships, which took place there just a couple of weeks back. It was sort of our test event for the World Rowing Championships. And I got to tell you, it was frustrating at times, but it was a great learning experience for us. And seeing what the SANCA folks do, again, on almost a week, every single weekend, it's amazing.
Because the World Rowing Championships, that's not the end of this journey. It's really only the beginning of it. I believe the NCAA championships are coming here. Is it the following year?
Yes, and then in 2018, the World Rowing Masters Regatta, which actually features more athletes than our regatta. That is kind of your senior rowers, the older rowers, that's referred to as the Masters. That event will be taking place at Nathan Benderson Park. And the whole point of building Nathan Benderson Park was to host these huge international regattas like the 2017 World Rowing Championships and the 28 World Rowing Masters Championships. So it's doing the job.
As part of your job, you have spoken to community groups, every kind of civic association from the entire Suncoast. Do you get a sense of the awareness that that sports tourism is really a great thing to be involved with, and that our particular region, both Sarasota and Manatee counties, we have the opportunity to really kind of corner the market?
I think so. Today I spoke to the Sarasota Newcomers group out at the Bird Key Yacht Club, and like you said, we've been doing that for probably the past 8 months, going to every single civic and social organization throughout the two-county area to tell them about the World Rowing Championships. And I think people are psyched. You have your folks who are obviously concerned with things like traffic and parking, things like that, but I think they all understand the economic impact that events like the World Rowing Championships have on this community and what it does for this community. So I think people are embracing that.
Kate, when the county comes up with a plan to do this, do you suppose that plan is going to not only include the expanding this into the future, but also taking a look at what it's really going to take in terms of, you mentioned infrastructure, but is that area around East Manatee County, do they have enough roads and accommodations to handle the influx of people who are going there?
Well, I think that they already are handling a lot of those people. They already see a big influx of people coming there. If they are looking to expand, though, then I think they'll have to really consider it and really sit down and see if they do have the infrastructure to support it. But I think that this is just scratching the surface. They're expecting a huge expansion of this industry in Manatee County.
And again, when are we going to know more in terms of whether or not the county is going to be willing to do this? And do we know what would happen if the county takes a pass?
Well, I don't know in terms of a timeline, but I do know the steps that still need to happen. So county staff is going to present that report to county commissioners, and then they'll decide if they want to move forward with it. As far as a pass, I'm not sure if that's in the cards or not. Carol Whitmore, the commissioner that we spoke to, says that she doesn't expect that it is.
Meanwhile, you are on a countdown clock.
Yeah, 71 days.
Are you ready?
I think so. Yeah, no, we're psyched. We're going to have some sleepless nights, but it's going to be such a great event for this community. We are excited to showcase these athletes from, we've been telling people 60 countries. Now it sounds like it's going to be 70 to 80 countries.
Incredible, absolutely.
Yeah.
Great time to be a sports fan on the Sun Coast.
Absolutely.
Let's take a quick break, and when we return, we'll have final thoughts from our guests, plus what some of our viewers are saying about last night's topic, the President's Voting Commission.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here.
Why, you don't like my hair?
The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds.
No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm going to show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch The Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
We asked you, Suncoast, why do you like ABC7?
I like ABC7 because it's local.
It gives me all the local news, local weather.
It's so local and so community-driven.
Kelly Wilgus does a great job.
John Scalzi, that's my guy.
Bob Harrigan is wonderful. Stephanie's my favorite.
I like Scott Dennis.
I like them all.
We're all very grateful that you cover what you do and you're here to participate with the community.
ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251, 800-628-1251.
Watch ABC7 wherever you are. Just search ABC7 on your streaming device to keep up with the Suncoast from the comfort of your couch. Download ABC7 now to watch us on TV anytime you want. ABC7, we're here for you wherever you are. ABC7 News at 7, weeknights.
Welcome back. Lakewood Ranch's premier sports campus draws hundreds of thousands of people for sporting events each year. Should Manatee County make a deal to control the property, and how would it affect residents and visitors who use these facilities? Our guests join us right now for final thoughts. Kate, once again, what is on the table here and why is it being offered?
Well, they're offering this premier sports campus, and I think that in talking to county commissioners, they see it as an incredible offer. As I said, it's a discounted price, and it could pose a huge economic opportunity for the county.
And this is a variety of different sports, from football to soccer, people from around the country coming in, professional and amateur, and using this facility, which is really state-of-the-art.
Absolutely, and I think it sounds obvious, but Florida's weather doesn't hurt. It makes it a year-round destination for people of all different sports.
Max, T-minus 71 days. What should viewers expect over the next couple of weeks? What will they see? What will they hear in our community as we march up to these championships?
Sure. In the next few weeks, you're going to start to see containers, the large containers that you see on cargo ships, come into Nathan Benderson Park. Those containers will contain the rowing shells that these countries are bringing over here. More importantly, the message that I really want to get across to everybody out there is, if you're not a fan of rowing, this event is still going to be a fun, tremendous time. You know, I didn't know anything about the sport going into it, and I know a lot of people don't understand anything about it, but there's going to be something for everybody at this event. Live entertainment, food trucks galore, the seating options are incredible. But more importantly, you are welcoming 1,700 athletes from around the world, and I know I kind of speak for Virginia Haley with the Sarasota County, Visit Sarasota County, and Elliot Falcioni from the Bradenton Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. But the hope is that they will fall in love with this area, the spectators, the athletes, and the coaches. And the hope is that they're going to come back as vacationers, or perhaps even in the future as residents.
That's fantastic. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right. Before we go, we want to share with you what some of our viewers are saying about last night's topic, President Trump's voting commission. The president assembled the 15-member commission to investigate his claims of widespread voter fraud in the 2016 presidential election. The majority of states are refusing to comply with requests for your personal information, like your driver's license number, social security number, signature, and more. Now the commission is on hold, facing legal challenges over a violation of privacy. And here is what some of you are saying. George Seeley writes, unnecessary data collection. Voter fraud is nothing compared to voter misinformation and intimidation. Ronald Matson Sr. writes, I have nothing to hide and suspect the reason the Democrats are stalling is that they know there is considerable voting fraud for Democrats. And Penny Franklin writes, this is a violation of privacy. The request is based on 45's losing the popular vote by millions. His ego can't handle that. Voter fraud hoax, a waste of time and money. I have nothing to hide. A model citizen that even pays taxes. Well, what do you think about the deal for Manatee County to take over the premier sports campus? Join our conversation tonight by visiting our Facebook page at facebook.com/news7. And FYI, you can watch past discussions. They're on demand, available on Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and Roku. Thanks to both our guests for being here tonight. Kate Fluxter is a reporter here at ABC7 News, and Max Winitz is a former reporter here at the station, and he now serves as the Media and Public Relations Manager for the 2017 World Rowing Championships at Benderson Park. We'll have a final look at your weather, plus a legal traffic stop or targeting. Orlando State Attorney is in a legal battle with Governor Rick Scott over the death penalty. Now critics are questioning the motivation behind police pulling her over. We'll have the details in our primetime headlines.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Summer clearance. Get your free $100 gift certificate to the first 100 customers who purchase $500 or more. And pay no interest for 1 full year with same-day pickup or next-day delivery. This special purchase 7-piece set, now $3.99. This dual reclining sofa with drop-down table and cup holders in beige or brown, $4.99. This Florida white bedroom set, $5.99. At the Furniture Warehouse in Sarasota, Bradenton, Venice, Port Charlotte, and Ellenton.
And save big.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, Contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
From meeting curious lemurs to feeding big cats and hosing down rhinos, there's never a dull moment. And sometimes these amazing animals chime in.
Watch Animal Outtakes every week on ABC7.
Your primetime headlines are coming up in a moment, but right now let's get a final check on our forecast from Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob.
Good evening, everyone. We are looking at some nice weather here currently across the Sun Coast. We had a few brief showers around earlier this afternoon. Not a lot of rainfall around today, and similar conditions anticipated tomorrow, maybe just a few more storms, but we had some nice photos sent in of the beautiful beach weather. Cindy Desmond getting this from Nokomis Beach. Looks picturesque, doesn't it? Just a few clouds around earlier today. Had some clouds occasionally this afternoon in the interior portions of the state, and that really kind of shut down the widespread rain that you would normally see with a tropical wave. We got most of that yesterday, but that wave now continues to move off into the Gulf and heads away from the coast. We still have one or two lone showers to deal with this evening, and that activity and all that intense. It's moving rather rapidly, too, so expect a brief shower as this heads off toward Osprey, and eventually Siesta Key, I think, may get a little taste of this. There are some lightning strikes with it, too, so keep that in mind, even a few after the rain has passed, because the storm is moving rather quickly. This one just popped up near Venice between US 41 and I-75 near North River Road in Warm Mineral Springs. It's heading toward Venice, I should say, near Center Road. Now, the overall picture showing still some moisture along the east coast, but there's some dry air set up along the Bahamas and to the east, and that's really cleared skies out. You see how sunny things are right here, hardly any clouds around, and that's a result of sinking air. On top of that, the dry air in place, and then a little bit of that will move in tomorrow. So rain chances not as normally as high as they normally could be this time of year. They'll be at 40%. The heat index still pretty warm, 94. We have an east wind at 11, and the high today did manage to get above average, a couple degrees shy of the record 96. 85 in Jacksonville. It's 87 in Miami, and Key West at 85. You can see that dry air on the scale here. You can see the dry conditions, moist conditions across our state, and then the dry air moving through the Bahamas. Whenever you get that in play, there's a chance that it will limit the activity in terms of thunderstorms for us tomorrow. We'll see that sea breeze kick in, although the RPM forecast model does suggest we will see some showers developing around 3 o'clock and continuing up until about 5, 6 o'clock. They will be scattered. For boaters tomorrow, east winds at 10 to 15 knots, so a bit of a breeze out there. Seas running 2 to 3 feet. And the water temperature now, 88 degrees taken at the end of the Venice Pier. Low tide upcoming at 11:22. High tide will be at 5:11, sunset at 8:28. Partly cloudy tonight, slight chance for a few widely scattered storms, and 76 for your low. The extended forecast is calling for better chances for rain, showers, and storms on Sunday and continuing throughout all of next week. Al will be right back after this.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 1-800-764-8708. That's 1-800-764-8708.
Record-setting hot weather means your AC is working overtime to keep your home cool, which can lead to high bills. That's why we're bringing in the energy experts from Florida Power and Light Company. Watch ABC7 News from 5 to 6:30 this Tuesday to get your questions answered during the FPL Ask the Energy Expert phone bank. From free online tools to FPL's new mobile app. Learn how to save energy and money, only on ABC7.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
I am a veteran. My victory was finding the strength to be a champion.
My victory is having a job I can be proud of.
At DAV, we help veterans get the benefits they've earned.
My victory was finishing my education.
My victory was getting help to put our lives back together.
DAV provides veterans with a lifetime of support.
My victory is being there for my family.
Help us support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Now for your primetime headlines. President Trump on a quick trip to Paris today, accepting the invitation of French President Emmanuel Macron to join in the Bastille Day celebrations. But questions about Russian election interference and his son's meeting with a Russian lawyer followed President Trump to the City of Lights. ABC's Emily Rao is in Washington with the latest.
I think from a practical standpoint, most people would have taken that meeting.
President Trump had three very clear talking points when responding to the inevitable question about Donald Jr.'s meeting with a Russian lawyer with reported ties to the Kremlin.
It lasted for a very short period, and nothing came of the meeting.
At a joint press conference, the president said repeatedly the meeting was short and nothing came of it. Details that haven't been independently verified but will likely be the focus of various Russia investigations.
I think it's a meeting that most people in politics probably would have taken.
But on Wednesday, the president's nominee for FBI director advised against taking such a meeting.
Any threat or effort to interfere with our elections from any nation state or any non-state actor is the kind of thing the FBI would want to know.
ABC's Cecilia Vega asked President Trump if Wray was wrong, but he didn't directly answer.
Well, I'll start off by saying, first of all, I believe that we will have a great FBI director.
But even Donald Jr. indicated to Fox News he thought attending the meeting was a mistake.
In retrospect, I probably would have done things a little differently.
Don Jr. was joined in the meeting by campaign chairman Paul Manafort and his brother-in-law Jared Kushner. The email promised information that would incriminate Hillary Clinton as part of the Russian government's support of his father. President Trump and President Macron are having dinner at the Eiffel Tower together. Now, as for the climate deal that President Trump just pulled out of last month, he commented on that today, saying something, quote, could happen. Emily Rao, ABC News, Washington.
Tonight, Senate Republicans are trying to save a new health care bill just introduced today. The new bill includes an additional $45 billion for opioid treatment, $70 billion for the states to use at their discretion. It also rolls back taxes on health care savings accounts and provides help for insurance companies to cover high-risk patients. However, it still defunds Planned Parenthood and rolls back Medicaid expansion. Democrats are lambasting the latest version.
Why did they move forward on such severe cuts to Medicaid? Why did they cut taxes for special interests? Why did you send my out-of-pocket costs skyrocketing?
They made their bill even worse, even meaner.
At least 10 Republican senators opposed the original GOP bill, and two, Rand Paul of Kentucky and Susan Collins of Maine, have already said they'll vote no on the new version. The woman who has led Planned Parenthood of Southwest and Central Florida for the past 24 years is stepping down. Barbara Trevecki is announcing she plans to retire in the next few months. During her tenure, Trevecki helped grow the Sarasota-based organization into a regional healthcare provider. The organization now serves more than 45,000 patients at its 11 healthcare clinics. Planned Parenthood's board is now searching for a new CEO, and they hope to make a decision before the end of the year to ensure a smooth transition. Trevecki has agreed to remain in her role through January. A follow-up on the military transport plane that crashed in Mississippi this week. We are learning one of the 16 victims was Sergeant Joseph Murray of Jacksonville. Witnesses say the plane corkscrewed before crashing into a field. No one on board survived. Sergeant Murray's father says his son was a hero and an inspiration.
Joseph, why do you want to be a grunt? Because that's the hardest thing there is to do. When Joseph decided to do something, he went all in. He didn't look for the easy way, he looked for the right way.
The cause of the plane crash remains under investigation. New developments in the two cases of Florida teens who went missing in the Atlantic nearly 2 years ago. Austin Stefanos and Perry Cohen were never found after their boat capsized in the storm off of Jupiter. Now Cohen's family is announcing plans for a wrongful death lawsuit. The mother of Stefanos is trying to use an old-time maritime law to protect her from being sued for more than the value of the boy's recovered boat, $500. A federal judge is allowing the Cohens to move forward with their suit in state court under one condition.
That they would not pursue collecting on that judgment until the limitation action has been decided in the federal court.
If the Cohens win in state court, the only way to collect anything more than $500 is to go back to the federal court. There is a 2-week deadline for them to file the wrongful death suit. Now to Orlando and questioning whether Orlando State's Attorney Aramis Ayala was targeted by police. Ayala was pulled over on June 19th. Police say her check of her license plate came up empty. Ayala was not ticketed. Both police and Ayala say the stop was lawful. Since officers routinely run license plates for official business, Ayala says she will not file a lawsuit for the stop. Ayala has made headlines over her legal battle with Governor Rick Scott because of her refusal to seek the death penalty. Florida Supreme Court is hearing the case. Governor Scott's office is not supporting a federal proposal banning the possession of shark fins. Florida wildlife officials are trying to keep them out of state ports. Shark fins are considered a delicacy in parts of Asia, leading to the practice of finning. That's where sharks are caught, their fins are cut off, and the rest of the shark is discarded. It's illegal in the U.S., and efforts to crack down on it have support from 8 members of Florida's congressional delegation. Conservationists say Florida needs to lead by example.
This country and certainly Florida are contributing to the problem and the decline of sharks by having a role here in the global trade of shark fins. So prohibiting the sale and trade of shark fins takes away the incentive for this wasteful practice of killing sharks for the value of their fin.
Scott's office says it won't support the ban because it would prohibit the sale of fins of legally caught sharks. Florida law requires caught sharks to be brought ashore. A whole new state law increases fines for people illegally possessing shark fins. An update on Governor Scott's decision to veto money for residents whose healthy citrus trees were cut down in an effort to eradicate citrus canker. Today, the Florida Supreme Court is throwing out a petition filed by residents from Broward and Lee counties trying to overturn Scott's veto. The governor recently vetoed a budget item to compensate those who lost their trees. That's all the time we have for this evening. I'm Alan Cohn. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.